Bgmc. The biblical truth lives here.
We are living in a time like no other in history, but fortunately for us, God wrote it all down in His prophecies. Find out what prophecies happened this week ripped straight from the headlines. Stay tuned for the Prophecy Headlines news show on the Remnant's Call.
News. Da 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 da. The first news story comes from Israel.
La primera noticia viene desde Israel.
Let's see what happened with Israel or Jewish people this week.
Vamos a ver qué está pasando con los judíos o Israel en esta semana.
There you see the new Prime Minister of England.
Ahí puedes ver al primer ministro de Inglaterra.
Prime Minister Boris Johnson,
El primer ministro Boris Johnson,
who is an American.
quien es un estadounidense.
He is now the Prime Minister of England.
Ahora él es el primer ministro de Inglaterra.
His mother and father
Su padre y su madre,
are both British citizens.
ellos son ambos ciudadanos de Inglaterra.
But what is so interesting about Mr. Johnson
Pero lo más interesante del señor Johnson
is his mother's father
es que su padre y su madre
is Jewish.
son judíos.
That's what we need in England.
Eso es lo que necesitamos allá
A
en
prime
Inglaterra.
minister who loves the Jews.
Un primer ministro que ame a los judíos.
Doesn't he look nice in his big old black hat?
No se ve muy elegante con su sombrero negro.
I just want to call him Boris.
Solo quiero llamarle Boris.
So you got an American prime minister in England?
Ahí tenemos un
Wow.
primer ministro judío allá en Inglaterra.
You can't hear it in the Genesis room?
No,
Okay.
está bien.
All right. Going on to the next slide.
Y en la próxima
The Jews
noticia,
are always trying to help the world.
los judíos siempre se están intentando de ayudar al mundo.
In that test tube is a bone.
Y en ese tubo de ensayo está
Like Joseph broke his bone.
un hueso. Ya.
Well, now we can get a replacement.
Es como, por ejemplo, si alguien se rompe un hueso de su cuerpo, podemos reemplazarlo.
There's millions of people with the disease osteoporosis.
Hay muchas personas con esa enfermedad, se llama osteoporosis.
Now the Jews have figured out how to make bone from your own bones.
Ahora ya los judíos se descubrieron cómo crear un hueso de tu propio hueso.
Those crazy Jews.
Esos judíos locos.
Yes, I'd like a new femur, please.
Sí, me gustaría un nuevo fémur, por
I'd
favor.
like a new brain. No, they didn't grow that yet.
Y también un cerebro nuevo, pero
If
todavía
I
no
only had a
crearon.
brain. Going on to the next slide. That's a cool story.
Es una noticia bien interesante.
And the Jews just trying to help people that don't have water.
Y los judíos siempre quieren ayudar y están intentando ayudar a personas que no tienen
They
agua.
came up with a cost-effective way to make rainwater into drinking water.
Y están construyendo, descubrieron este aparato que puede crear de la lluvia agua potable.
You know how you make rainwater into drinking water?
¿Saben cómo haces de la lluvia agua para beber? Haces así, levantas tu boca.
That's the way I did it as a kid.
Yo hacía eso cuando niño.
So they showed everybody, look up.
Los judíos le enseñaron a todos que miraran para arriba y ya.
No, they came up with a device to collect the rainwater. It's really interesting.
Es un aparato que recolecta el agua. Es interesante.
Going on to the next news story about Israel.
Esta noticia desde Israel.
The American government is pretty, in some regards, very good.
En algunas partes el gobierno de Estados Unidos es muy bueno.
You know about those idiot Muslims in our government?
¿Has escuchado de estos idiotas musulmanes que están en el gobierno?
Those cockroaches
Estas cucarachas.
and AOC?
Esos de LLC.
Well,
AOC.
the government made a law that says that you can't divest from Israel.
Hay una ley que dijo que no puedes divest,
To take away.
que no puedes quitar de Israel, no puedes separarte de Israel.
And it passed 398 to 17.
Y la ley pasó unos 398 de 17.
So remember,
17.
God has a promise.
Recuérdense que el Señor
I
tiene una promesa.
I will bless those that bless Israel
Bendeciré a aquellos que bendicen a Israel.
and curse them that curse him.
Y voy a maldecir a aquellos
So
que
Elian, why
maldicen.
don't you go back to Somalia?
Así que quiero, Elian, que tú regreses a
I hear it's a
Somalia.
wonderful country. Maybe we can divest from them. Do they have a business?
Así tú faz.
It works in English. Okay. Okay, anti-Semitism this week.
Noticias antisemitas de esta semana son estas.
Okay, please be aware what's going on around you.
Por favor, preste atención muy bien a lo que está a tu alrededor.
You don't want to be a Jew in Europe.
No querrás ser un judío en Europa.
In Finland, the Israeli embassy was attacked for the 15th time.
Y en Finlandia, la embajada israelí fue atacada por 15ª vez.
They tried to break the door. The 15th time the glass door has been shattered.
Y ellos intentaron romper la puerta y
Okay,
y esta puerta de cristal estaba ya rota, ¿no?
let's get down to the rest of the stories. Okay, please pay attention.
Por favor, preste atención al resto de las
Because
noticias.
Telemundo doesn't bring you these stories.
Porque Telemundo no te brinda estas noticias.
Cartoon News Network doesn't bring you these stories.
CNN tampoco te brinda estas noticias.
And even Fox News really doesn't bring you these stories.
Y tampoco Fox te brinda las noticias.
But the reason I do the news
La razón por la cual hago las noticias
before the lesson,
antes de el mensaje
I want you to get ready for what God's word.
es que quiero que te prepares para prestar atención a la palabra del Señor.
Because when you see how close we are to the end of time,
Porque cuando te des cuenta lo cerca que estamos del final de los tiempos,
ask yourself this question.
hazte esta pregunta.
Are you ready to go meet God face to face?
¿Está usted listo de reunirse con el Señor cara a cara?
How's that meeting going to go?
¿Y cómo va a ser esa reunión con el Señor?
Will Yeshua be your lawyer or your prosecutor?
¿Será que Yeshua va a ser tu abogado o tu fiscal?
Let's go on to the news. First news story, you're going to be hated.
En esta noticia vas a ser odiado.
Now, we still live in a decent country. It's not a great country anymore. It's a decent country.
Ya no es un buen país, pero es un país decente.
Because in John chapter 17, verse 14, Yeshua said you're going to be hated.
Porque en Juan 17:14 Yeshua ya dijo que usted va a ser odiado.
Now, in China, it is even crazy to be a Christian.
Y en China eso es una locura ser cristiano.
There you see one of the Christian pastors.
Ahí está usted viendo un pastor cristiano.
He was put in jail for being a Christian
Él fue encarcelado por ser cristiano.
because they said he was doing illegal business activity.
Porque ellos dijeron que le estaba haciendo actividades ilegales.
So imagine being put into jail because you were running a Christian business.
Imagínense usted ser arrestado por tener un negocio cristiano.
Well, don't worry, that's coming here.
Pero no se preocupe, eso está en camino hacia acá.
That's why we should only hire people that follow God.
Es por eso que ¿sabe?
We should only hire,
Deberíamos, solamente deberíamos de emplear personas que temen al Señor.
that follow God.
Amén.
Going on to the next slide. In India this past Sunday,
Y ese domingo que pasó en
a
la
bunch of
India,
Hindus attacked a church.
muchos hindúes atacaron la iglesia.
Now, they're not supposed to be worshiping on Sunday. Yes, that's true.
Ellos no se supone que deben de adorar en los domingos, eso es verdad.
But they're going to start there, then they're going to come after the Jews.
Pero ellos van a comenzar a atacar por esa forma y después van a venir por los
So
judíos.
get ready,
Así que prepárese,
because if you break the Shabbat,
porque usted quebranta el sábado,
you're not getting into heaven.
usted no va a entrar al cielo.
And you must meet for Shabbat.
Y usted debe de reunirse en los Shabbat.
Going on to the next slide. Day's wages for a loaf of bread.
Un día de trabajo por un pedazo de pan.
I'm going to direct the ushers after they're done eating lunch
Después del almuerzo le voy a decir a los sugieres
to go through our storehouse.
para que vaya a nuestro almacén.
We're going to put funding together because food by the end of the summer is going to skyrocket in price.
Y vamos a poner las cosas en orden porque el alimento para el final del verano va a aumentar de precio.
Revelation 6:6 says a day's wages for a loaf of bread.
Y en Apocalipsis 6:6 dice que un día de trabajo por un pedazo de pan.
There was a survey done this past week.
Y en esa semana hubo una encuesta
12% of corn farmers didn't even plant their farm this year.
que un 12% de los cultivadores de maíz ni siquiera cultivaron el maíz.
48% say there's a below average yield.
Y un 48% dijeron que ese averaje es el más bajo de la temporada.
You're saying, well, I don't eat corn.
Y usted diría, no, yo no como maíz.
But the cows do.
Pero las vacas sí lo
The
hacen.
other animals do.
Y los demás animales lo hacen.
So if they're not eating that, what are they eating?
Entonces, si ellos no comen esto, ¿qué estarán comiendo?
See, when something goes down, something else, the other prices go up.
Entonces, cuando algo baja, como la producción de algo, el precio aumenta.
And it's not just here in America, everybody.
Y no solamente es en Estados Unidos.
This problem is going on worldwide.
Y todo este problema está a nivel mundial.
Going on to the next slide. The mark of the beast
La marca de la bestia
is here in America.
ya está aquí en Estados Unidos.
And it has started here in the next story.
Y aquí en esta noticia,
In California, if you're in California, leave.
en California, si estás allá, sal corriendo.
They're giving from babies to until you die, they're tracking you now in California.
Y en los bebés, hasta que mueren, te están rastreando.
They're tracking your fingerprints.
Están colectando tu huella digital.
They're tracking your eye prints.
También están rastreando tus ojos o tu retina.
Everything you do in California is going to be in a database.
Todo lo que haces o obtienes allá en California va a estar en una base de datos.
You're not even going to be able to log on to the internet soon.
Ni siquiera próximamente vas a poder entrar al internet.
So you young people or old people, learn how to program computers.
Entonces ustedes jóvenes, adultos, aprendan a cómo programar.
We need people that know how to get into the system
Necesitamos personas que aprendan a cómo entrar al sistema.
and know how to work the system.
Y también personas que sepan cómo trabajar alrededor del sistema.
Like the Israelis know how to get into the system.
Así como los
Gabish?
israelíes saben cómo entrar en el sistema.
You got to be as wise as a serpent
Tienes que ser astuto como serpiente
and as gentle as a dove.
y gentil como paloma.
Okay, so this is now in California.
Eso ya está en California.
And if it starts there, it's going to come across the nation.
Y si ya inició allá, va también a cruzar toda la nación.
Going on to the next slide, the evil one.
El malvado.
In Psalm 14, verse 1, it says, fools say that there is no God.
Y en Salmos 14:1 dice, tonto es aquel que dice que no hay Dios.
Look at this story out of Canada.
Miren esta noticia desde Canadá.
The satanic temple in Canada is growing.
El templo satánico allá en Canadá está creciendo.
There are now over 100,000 people claiming to be Satan worshipers throughout North America.
Y ya en América del Norte ya hay unos 100,000 miembros que están declarando ser seguidores de Satanás.
Get ready, people.
Prepárense.
Yeshua said in Matthew 24, things are happening.
Yeshua ya habló en Mateo 24 que las cosas van a estar aconteciendo así.
Going on to the next news story. Isaiah 5 verse 20, in the end of days evil will be called good and good will be called evil.
Y en Isaías 5:20 lo malo iba a ser llamado bueno y lo bueno malo al final de los tiempos.
Going on to this slide. In South Carolina,
En Carolina del Sur
they removed the monument to the police department because it had the word Lord in it.
removieron este monumento policial porque decía Señor en el monumento.
They're trying to remove God from every part of our society.
Ellos están intentando de remover todo lo que es hablar de Dios de nuestra sociedad.
But understand the United States Constitution
Pero entienda que la Constitución de los Estados
was
Unidos
made only for a moral and religious people. John Adams said that.
fue solamente hecha por personas de buen moral y religiosa. James
Before
Adams
he
dijo
made the
eso.
beer.
Antes de hacer la cerveza. Dijo esto.
Okay, this is family. Going on to the next news story. Now here's something, we're supposed to take care of the poor, right? The scriptures talk about taking care of the poor.
Y en la palabra dice que tienes que encargarte de los pobres. Dice.
In Kentucky, they had a guy who made glasses.
Y en Kentucky tiene esta persona que hace anteojos.
And he would collect old glasses
Y estaba recolectando todos los lentes
to give to the poor.
para dárselo a los pobres.
Now the Kentucky government has stopped him from doing that because they say it's illegal.
Entonces el gobierno de Kentucky lo detuvo porque decía que esto era
How
ilegal.
illegal is this?
Entonces, ¿qué tan ilegal sería esto?
What do you mean? Giving somebody something for free is illegal?
¿Cómo así? ¿De dar algo de gratis a las personas esto es ilegal?
What does it say in Isaiah 5 verse 20?
Que dice en Isaías 5:20.
Evil will be called good, and good will be called evil.
Dice que al final de los tiempos lo bueno iba a ser llamado malo y lo malo bueno.
That's why I'm 100% legalistic.
Es por eso que somos 100% legalistas.
Going on to next story, I think that's it. If you're out there,
Si estás allá afuera,
hit the doggone donate button.
presiona el botón de
Now,
donar.
before I call...
Shalom. My name is Messianic Rabbi Andrew Dinnerman, and I invite you to come to visit our congregation. If you are in the tri-state area, come out and visit with us on Shabbat. We are a congregation of Jews and Gentiles, living as one in the Messiah Yeshua. Bgmc is a place of true worship. The focus never wanders from the Hebraic roots of our faith. Beth Goyim is rooted in the Word of God from Bereshit through to the book of Revelation. Messiah's strong words against man-made tradition are carefully recorded in Matthew 7. That is the reason we only follow the straight-up instructions found in Scripture. Truly, the way, the truth, and the life. If you're looking for a deeper walk with Adonai, come out for our Tuesday evening Bible study called Messianic Torah Time. Come, spend the day with us on any Shabbat. We start at 11 a.m. with the sound of the ancient Hebrew shofar. Next, we offer our King praise and worship in English, Hebrew, and Spanish. After worship, we review the headlines in the previous week's news from around the globe, especially news from the Holy Land, Israel. We don't just list the news headlines as current events, but we comb through the scriptures, searching for clues to understand what they mean and then to help pinpoint prophetically our current position on Adonai's clock. After digesting all that modern information, we leave the world behind as we journey with our Adonai deep into his eternal word, not with just one or two scriptures, but usually 7 or more scriptures. The spiritual nourishment and the richness of his kingdom become accessible to the ones who share this special time and seek them out. The day does not end there. Because Shabbat is so special to him, there is always so much more that our King desires to share. So instead of separating and leaving, we stay together as a family for potluck lunch and an afternoon study of our King's Word. We close the Shabbat together with the reading of the new week's parashah. That's the Torah portion. Even after those blessings, many of us just can't get enough. So the members bring prepared homemade foods to share while we all enjoy an uplifting movie together. If all that information is not quite enough, you can check out our website where you will find over 200 video teachings and biblical holy day studies. Under Messianic Torah Time, the Hebrew Roots button, you'll discover free studies on many, many different topics, including PowerPoint slide presentations. If Beth Goyim sounds like a place you'd love to visit, but you live outside the tri-state area, there is still a way to connect with us. We stream live on the internet on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat. The website is www.bethgoyim.org. That's BETHGOYIM.org. Our phone number is 973-338-7800 or 978-2-YESHUA. That's 978, the number 2, Yeshua. Shalom.